Evolution is one of the most accepted theories in science, explaining how life was changed over time. But despite decades of research, there are still many big questions that evolution hasn't answered yet. Let's explore these mysteries. Question number 1. How did life begin? One of the biggest mysteries in science is the origin of life. Evolution explains how life changes over time, but how life started in the first place is still unknown. How did simple molecules evolve into complex cells? And what triggered the shift from non-living to living material? Question number 2. What was the first life form? Even though life on Earth can be traced back billions of years, we still don't know what exactly the first living organism was. Was it a simple single-celled organism or something more complex? And how did it evolve into the vast diversity of life we see today? Question number 3. How did complex features evolve? Some of the most complex features in nature, like the human eye, still puzzle scientists. How did something as intricate as the eye evolve from simpler light-sensitive cells? We understand the general process, but the exact steps remain unclear. What were the intermediate stages that led to such complexity? Question number 4. How does evolution work at different speeds? Why do species evolve so quickly, like bacteria developing antibiotic resistance, while others evolve very slowly, like elephants or humans? What factors determine the speed at which evolutionary changes occur? And why do some species remain relatively unchanged for millions of years? Question number 5. Why did some species evolve while others went extinct? Why do some species, like the dinosaurs, go extinct while others, like mammals, survived and thrived? There is no definitive answer to why some species disappeared and others adapted, especially when both were exposed to similar environmental changes. Question number 6. How did consciousness evolve? Humans are unique, not just physically, but also mentally. How did consciousness, the ability to think, feel, and self-reflect, evolve? How did we go from simple organisms to being capable of complex thoughts and language? The evolutionary path to the human cognition is still a mystery. Number 7. Why do some traits evolve, but others don't? Some species develop remarkable traits, like the long neck of a giraffe or the bright feathers of a peacock. But why do certain traits evolve in some species, while others don't? What factors determine which traits are selected for or against in the evolutionary process? Charles Darwin was fascinated and a bit troubled by the peacock. His famous statement was, "The sight of a feather in a peacock's tail, whenever I gaze at it, makes me sick." Why do some species evolve so differently? Why do some species within the same group, like mammals or birds, sometimes evolve in very different directions? For instance, why did some mammals evolve to become whales, while others remained land-dwelling? What drives such dramatic divergence in a single group of organisms? Number 9. What triggers evolutionary events? Evolution doesn't happen in a vacuum. Events like climate change, catastrophic events, or geological shifts often drive evolutionary changes. But what especially triggers these evolutionary bursts? How do species respond to certain environmental changes? And what makes them evolve rather than adapt in other ways? Why do some species maintain primitive features? Some species, like the coelacanth, a type of fish, seem to have stayed the same for millions of years, defying the usual patterns of evolution. Why do some species remain so primitive or unchanged for such long periods of time, while others evolve rapidly? While evolution has provided us with a framework for understanding the changes life has gone through, there are still many mysteries that remain. The journey to fully understand evolution is ongoing, and every new discovery brings us one step closer to answering these fascinating questions. If you are curious about these unanswered questions or have any other thoughts on evolution, drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more science explorations.